Our students, Brian Proctor, the comic book art teacher, back again with another video. And this one is going to be another draw along. And the reason why I'm doing this is because um, I asked you, do you like to draw alongs? And I had several people say, yeah, it helped them when I draw slower and explain. So I'm going to do a few more draw alongs, but I'm also going to get back into more comic book stuff. But right now I've got the comic book lesson going on my Patreon. So, but I'm still going to do comic book for YouTube as well, because YouTube is what got me started and all you guys have stuck with me. So I'm going to do that because Patreon comic book course is not free. You have to join a certain tier to get it. So yeah, but I'm not going to be like for money with you guys. I'm going to do right by you because you've been doing right by me. So anyway, let's get on with this video. I don't know if I said it because I'm rambling. I got the Black Panther going on this one. And yeah, I think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be easy for you guys. I didn't want to do a hard one yet, hard one yet. So let's go, because I'll just keep rambling. Let's get to the drawing table. All right, our students, welcome back to the drawing table. So today I've got a Black Panther that we're going to do. This is pretty simple, straightforward. I mean, I've done positions like this before, but I don't think I had a draw along done. And the reason it looks like this is because the background is black, and I'm not trying to waste that much printer ink on something that's going to get thrown away. Yes, it's being used for knowledge and skill, blah blah blah, but still, that's a lot of black background. That's why you see them chopped up like that. If anybody was wondering, I'm just not trying to use that much ink for the backgrounds. Ink costs a lot of money. So anyway, as I said, this is pretty much straightforward, and the reason I'm doing this one is I read in the comments where someone asked to learn about foreshortening. So whenever I look for these positions, I try to look for a little bit of everything, kind of all in one, so I can teach you guys not just to draw, but foreshortenings and perspective and all that good stuff. So we're gonna do this Black Panther. Truth be told, I was going to do something else, but that thing was getting to me. So let me just show you this monster that I was going to do. Still going to do it eventually. You're going to see it. But this thing, yeah. So yeah, that I always kind of like draw it first, so I can pick out the little nuances that I can show you guys as far as drawing, like turn this or twist this, or this is why, this is that, so that it makes it easier for you guys to draw when I draw it, and I take all the hard bits out and leave the easy bits in. So yeah, let's get started. And Patreon, something I thought about. Somebody subscribed to my Patreon channel, and I think it's tier 3. I don't know how many tiers. I think it's got 3 tiers, like a free and a paid and a something. I don't take care of that. I have people taking care of that for me, but I have decided, because they told me that somebody signed up and he's in Australia. So if you sign up to that, you get like a free comic book, signed comic book, and some other stuff. But I have decided to give away a signed drawing as well. If you are going to support me that way, you're going to support me that way, then I'm going to show you my thanks by giving you a free drawing, something that was on the channel or something that I decided to do, such as something like that. Now, this might not be the one I'll give away, but my drawings that I do, I'm going to sign them and include that in anybody who signs up to my Patreon channel and is on the top tier. So that's just something I thought about today, just giving back for those who've stuck with me, believe in me, and are willing to just help me out like that. So yeah, gives you something to think about. And thank you, whoever you are from Australia. You know who you are. Yeah, that's a long way. It's a long way, because my Patreon guy said it's going to be like $30 just to send stuff to Australia. $30. So yeah, so I'm giving back. All right, so let's get on with this Black Panther. So the first thing you want to do is you want to kind of basically take it all in. Will it fit? Like I say, you start with the torso. I'm not going to start down here because you have all that room up here for the head. You just need enough room for the head, and then you start the torso. So there's 3 first steps to do. You want to do your oval first, and your torso should tell you how big the rest is going to be so your legs don't fall off. I'm going to try to make this a little darker. You do your torso first. You do your center line second. These are the first three, center line. And then you do your collarbone. Those are the first three steps. Now, when you check that, you want to make sure your collarbone is it straight? Is it at an angle? Because just that little bit can add a lot of motion to your drawing. And as I said, when I draw slow, I get really stiff. But when I draw fast, you know, I'm looser. So if stuff is stiff, you know why. So we have this, and then I want to go from my bottom chest, the bottom part of the chest, and say my chest is going to be about that big. And then you know the rib is just barely under the chest. So I'm going to say it like this. All right, and since this is turned, however your center line is, whatever curve, that's as much curve as you're going to get on your side. So when we got this, so at this point where this comes here and it hits this point, and when this comes here and it hits this point, you should be able to do a curve like that. And that kind of tells you where that chest, at this point, where that chest is going to turn to go up into that arm. This is something I kind of taught myself a long time ago. And it works. It actually works. So we have that, and that. So I'm going to do, remember the collarbone is right above the delt. Since this is turned, and hopefully you can see it because it's harder for me to see because of the light. And you have the other delt here, right under this, just a ball. We're going to do the basic shapes first, because any position, any picture you look at, if you got your basic shapes down, then it makes it a little easier to draw. So arms are simple, legs are simple. So I want to go here, and wherever this V is, wherever your line comes up, that's going to be the center of your collarbone, or is it also called the clavicle? I don't know. So that's where the neck is, the center of the neck is going to be. So I'm going to do a V right here and right here, all the way to the end of this leftover piece. Now this leftover piece is subject to change because that's just a circle. That's not the traps. And then I'm going to bring my head up, or the neck up, usually to about the top of that ball. And then put my head there, which is just another oval. And of course, it's going to come back down and around. And since he's looking, he's got it kind of tilted. Oh, well, let's just do this. He's kind of tilted, so let's do that. The head is tilted, and you see up under there, which we'll work on later. So the hard part is almost done. All right, so, and the waist is not really going to come off of here. Depends on how the person is turned. If he's turned sideways, yes, the waist is going to come off of this. It's not going to come here. It's not going to go way over there, but it's going to come here. But on this side, you want to bring it out just a little bit. Depends on how thick the person is, the character is. So that's your tuna can. From here to here, you have that rectangle. Or it's actually not oval. Oval, I'm thinking two sentences ahead and adding stuff in between that. So anyway, that's just the tuna can right here. And then you have the upside down house. You want to follow. For something like this, I'll bring the stomach line in a little bit. Now he's got a lot of stomach right here, so I can add a little bit more to this here. And make this go a little further. And that's how you can make somebody taller or shorter, by adding to the waist. And then the upside down house. And as I was saying, you're going to bring that point right down to the crotch. So this starts over here, continues over here, and then twists. So this is the center. So it's going to actually turn like a slight S. And of course, you know the bottom is going to be the roof of the house, bottom of the crotch. Leave some space for the man junk. Now, even though this leg is covering it, you know it's still going to be like this. You can cover it with the leg, doesn't make a difference. But once you get this done, then your hard part is over. It's just, once you get this, what are you going to do with the arms? If I'm not drawing this, I say to myself, what am I going to do with the arms to make this look actiony? You know, I can do a million things, but unless I am drawing something like my comic book and I actually know what I'm going to do, it's just hard. If you just say, hey, draw me an action pose, then I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? What kind of position? That's the thing that gets me. So I'm going to bring this all the way down. This is subject to change because I want them to get like a lean. I might change them around a little bit. Just to bring all that all the way down, just to see kind of where the bottom of the leg is. And I'm going to work on this. So I'm going to put his belt in, bring that belt up a little bit, because that knee is right above that belt. So that knee is going to be like about right here. As I say, all of this is subject to change. That's why you don't want to try to draw dark. You don't want to make it perfect. You want to just get the basic form. So when you change it or erase something, you're not like, oh my God, I had to change, I had to erase, I had to do this. No. So this is the thigh right here, because I can see right here. I guess I can see that right there. It's a lot of glare from my light. So, but I have the knee, so I'm going to come straight down. Not straight down. I'm going to come back. This is straight down. I'm going to come back at an angle. So I'm going to come back at an angle, but I don't. It's just a lot of space between the two legs. So I'm going to come back at an angle, and then you have your calf right here. So this is going to come like this. So now I'm drawing the shapes, which it should just be a cone. I said I was going to do that, but the artist in me takes over. You do your cone first. Same thing you do with your arms. You do your cylinder, and then you do your triangle or your cone first. Like I say, so when you have to erase it, you're not upset having to erase. So we're going to go down here. We're going to get the calf. So just imagine that was a cone. And then that's there. There's a bend right here. I don't know if he is on his toe, or if it's flat-footed, or if that's going back. I'm going to assume this is going back. So let's just do this. Let's bring this back. And you know if something is going forward or going back, because if it's a cylinder, and it's straight up like this, I know I've gone over this enough, but there might be somebody that doesn't really understand. If it's a cylinder, it's going to be straight up. Now, when you tilt that cylinder back, you're going to see the opening, and it's going to go narrower, just like that. Same thing the other way around. You flip it the other way around, you're going to go open to narrow. So when you're doing the arms, let's just say this. Let's say this with the fist. You have your back circle and your front circle, and they pull together like this, and then you can do your fist like that. And that's your foreshortening. So we're going to do this, and because it's going to go shorter, let me just use my little example here. The more it turns to you, trying to get it on camera, the more it turns to you, the shorter it's going to look. It's still going to be the same distance, length, but it's going to look shorter the more you turn it. So if he bends his leg and his leg is going back, with this opening here and the opening there, it would shorten. So that's how you get something going back. If you want an arm going back and your leg going back, you just shorten it and then make sure you have the openings right. So I'm going to do this. Ankle. And I'm just going to put a bit of his foot right there. And because this is like this, shaped like this, then you know it's going back. If it was open like that, then you know it's coming forward. And his foot would have to be, you have to see the bottom of his foot. I don't know if you saw that, but let me do that again. I hate doing examples on my paper. As I say, if it's going back like this, because this, you see the opening here and closing there, then you know his foot is kind of like going back. Draw foot, Brian, draw foot. I don't know what leg this is. The foot was going back. If it was the other way around, you know that foot would be going forward, coming forward. You'd see the bottom of that foot, his heel, and then whatever, however, I have the other leg like that. So just by knowing your openings, or the way you turn, the way you cut, the way you get it together, Brian, you'll be able to know what's coming back and what's going forward. So the more it goes back, the shorter it's going to be, and the more narrower it's going to get. All right, so let's just say, put the foot there. Let's put this base here. This leg is just a big oval, a thick oval, because you got meaty thighs. Oval comes into the knee, and then you have your cone. All right, so the knee is going to be in the center. And I said I was going to find out what muscle that is. The muscle comes like, it's like way over here. It starts over here. It comes down, curves over that knee, goes back up, leaves this V, this letter V, because the other one does the same thing. But actually, I think one is higher than the other, but it's just easy just to keep them the same. You have this V shape come up here. That's when you have the, serious muscle. But I did that to say that once this comes down, there is this meat that goes around this muscle, comes around, and then it goes straight down. This takes over. This is your shin bone right here, because it protrudes. And then right up under that, you have your calf. Curve it out and back in. Same thing. You have a little meat coming around that knee, and then that calf. And I always curve mine. It just looks better. And then, your arms are kind of curved a little bit. It's not straight. It gives a little bit of curve. But it just looks better when you curve it. And because his foot is unseen, it could be on a ledge or something. I'm just going to put a foot there. And if the foot is straight, flat, then you just have a triangle. I usually curve this like this just for me, and then I'll put the ankle here and the other ankle right down there. So we got all this, and I should not have drawn the muscles, because if I have to shorten this, which it doesn't look like I might have to, then I would be a little, taken back. But it doesn't look like I have to. So we have this knee here. This is going back. This is why this is shorter, because I was looking at it and saying, oh man, I got to make that one longer. Let's get rid of some of this inner structure. And when you bend your leg, like that, this is going to push up against your calf. And this is going to push it. It's like you have a balloon, water balloon, and you push it together. The sides are going to come out, bulge out a little bit more. So that's why you're going to have thicker right here, because it's pushing against the thigh. And the thigh is going to be like right here, in and some of the out. But at this point, I think I'm not going to really show. You can't really see it there too much anyway, so I'm not going to show it too much here anyway. And of course, like I say, the shin is going to be like right here. So this, and that's that. So you got that so far. You've got this little rock covering it. And it doesn't have to be this. It could be anything. It could be a table or chair, or I don't know, whatever. All right, so now, because he's turned, let's round this off. Let's work at this. Round this off. It's going to go here, and it's going to turn, and it's going to go up under that delt. The delt, remember, the delt is 3 pieces, so I'll usually just split it in the middle. It's almost like a heart. You got this one in the center and one in the back. Usually the one in the back is higher, but we're not going to get into that one in this video. Like that, but this is the ball. I already put the ball there. So because he's turned a lot, you're not going to see much of that delt. You're not going to see much of this bicep either. And your elbows usually come around the bottom of this, somewhere near your belly button, if I'm not mistaken. Take your elbow and put it down against your side and see where it hits the body. Why am I messing with this one? My camera is just doing a number. It's just flashing green, as long as it's still operating. All right, so we have this, and then we have the cone. Cone, chop it off where you want that wrist to be. Just do a square for the hands, pretty much, until you're ready to come. Curve it off, but still, it's like a square, just curve. This piece is like a square, really. It just, when you start doing stuff like this, this starts to curve around, that's all. So you do the square and your 5 fingers, but like I said, once you start to scrunch your hands, it gets more into a curve. So right now we're just going to do that. We're going to do this here. This comes at the top. This is a split between your bicep and your tricep. So basically you would have done this, and then yeah, let's get to that now. Since this is coming forward all the way, it's the same. Let's use the cone. It's the same as this. Got your cone, which your forearm represents cone in the drawing, and as it comes forward, all you're going to see, trying to get it under the camera, all you're going to see basically is the back circle. Back here, this circle, because you're going to cover it up with your hand here. So if this was, let's see if I got something big enough on this table. So this is your arm bending up, coming at you, and this is your hand, or your fist. You won't see too much of the wrist. You won't see, basically, you won't see any of the wrist. You know, if it's coming straight forward, trying to get it on camera. If you tilted it a little bit, then you start to see some of this. If you lifted it down, you start to see some of that. If you go up, you start to see some of the bottom. But if you're aiming it right at the person, more than likely, you're just going to see the fist and a little bit of this backness, the backness. All right, so you got that. So basically, that's just going to be a circle. Because remember, as I said, you have your back circle, you have your front circle. If it's pointed straight at you, it's going to be your front circle in the middle. And all that's going to get covered up. So then we have your hand right here at an angle. This is just basically a square. Let's do this. This is a square. Like that. And then you just separate your fingers. And then you put your thumb on top of that, or another rectangle on top of that. I mean, there is a bend here. You can, if you want to be perfect about it, like that, and it goes down to the side. But that's all a hand is. You know, that a fist is anyway. Now, like I say, if you want to get good about it, you can curve it. And then you can curve this a little bit. And then put your knuckles. And I'm going to do a good job on this one and mess up on that one. This is like, I don't care. When I do drawings where I really don't care, then it comes out really good. But when I start to just, oh, I got to get it right, then I get tight and it just doesn't work. So anyway, here it is right here. Okay, wait, I'm seeing some of the bottom. I'm looking at this. I'm seeing some of the bottom of that. So I'm going to lift this up, which is why I don't ink on my drawings, because I want to get the chance to look at everything. Like I said, this beast gave me hell. because I had kept checking and checking and checking. I was like, okay, that's not quite right. And I'm not trying to get it perfect, but I wanted to, be as close as I can, close as it can to it. So because this is like this is the same. Your center line is not your center line. Your hole is not going to be in the center like that. It is going to be up some. So you're seeing the bottom. So it's going to look like this, and your center line, your line is going to be like that. Your center line. What am I talking about lines? The hole, your front circle is going to be like that, seeing all of the bottom, or some of the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this fist up, and bring it over some more, but I'm shifting it up. Same shape, but I'm shifting it up, so now you see the bottom. So, okay, going to this, I'll deal with that in a second. Going to this looks pretty good. So I'll keep that, and then I will bring this up a little bit and kind of square it off. Because that's where you get your I don't want to say your power and your size, but when you have big traps, that's how you know the small guy from the big guy. So we got this, we got your thumb coming up, and I'm going to fast motion this, or I might just do a cut, and then you see the end result. I'm leading more to a fast motion. I can't see exactly how this hand is. Is it like this or like this? I'm going to kind of do my own kind of hand. I know this is coming because it is tilted. You're going to see this meet kind of like some of the back from the front, and you would do like a little triangle like that, and then you see some of the bottom, and then your thumb comes here, and here's your first finger. And because you see some of the bottom, then you're going to have room for your second finger, third finger, like that. So you're going to see the back and the palm of it like that. I know it's kind of like a bad drawing, but hopefully you get the idea. So it's going to come here. I'm going to put part of the thumb here and maybe here. And I assume he's doing this because, the whole Panther thing. So just when you draw, if you can do just like one joint at a time, you're good. But if it's a small hand, just do two joints, unless it's like needed. Like this one is bent all the way, so I might have to do I will do all three joints. So we've got that one. Let me do blue, just to show you what I'm saying. So this one's going to be here. And I can leave it at that. You have that, but I'm going to do a third one here, like that. Same thing here. And your third joint right here. And then I can put them together to make it look a little better. Shorten it just to kind of make it look a little more dynamic. Bring this one up more. Bring that one up a little bit more. But that's something I'd have to work on. I have to see it in my head and then work on it, because it's hard for me to see exactly what he has. So sometimes you just got to add what you want to add, and that's something you should do. Any drawing you do, you should make it your own drawing. Don't say, oh, look, I did a Jim Lee picture. Start the Jim Lee picture and then turn it around and make it your own. Man, that hand is jacked up. But anyway, I'm gonna detail this just a little bit more so for you guys, and then fast motion. So we got this. The chest is gonna come out more. Come in a little bit. It goes down. We have your stomach here, and it curves and goes in and about there. Usually at the nipple, it'll curve and it'll go in. So you can kind of like tell where this is going to go in at. You've got from here to here, if you do like a little curve line, This is going to be your serratus. This is that. So this can be round, it can be flat, or it could be a point. Everybody should not have the same type of stomach. And then of course I bring it in and then bring it out. Like I say, every character should not have the same stomach, same abs, same chest. It should be different. I mean, the Hulk is built different from Captain America. Namor is built different from Captain America. Wolverine is built different from Thor, you know, so yeah. And then of course this is going to be your love handle here. And then I'm going to do the belt. This belt is almost straight, but it's got a little curve down to it, which means you're almost looking under it. So your perspective is probably going to be right here. I'm going to start adding the perspective lines, eye line. I'm going to start adding my eye line so people can start choosing to draw background instead of just having a, you know, just a white space. All right, so this is here, so this is gonna flare out here and go in there and come in here. I've got that this is round, this is round. This is gonna go all the way up to that collarbone. You have your traps, which they go up the neck, they come down, and then they curve around like this. Same thing. That makes it more, gives it more strength to it. And then you have like this little indentations right here, dip here and there, and I think you got the bottom line. I was like, what is that? I think this is going to be it for the actual lesson. Curve that in, like I say. Not it for the lesson, but that's going to be the part for drawing, which is the lesson, Brian. And then I'm going, like I said, I'm going to fast motion this because this is already probably 20 some minutes. And I'll fix his hand. There's always going to be a curve. Remember, it's going to be a curve. When you do your hand, there's always this curve going around. Okay, what you do, there's going to be this curve going around. So if you can get the curve right, or at least get the curve right, then it makes, even in here, it makes a big difference in how your hand looks. So if I get the curve right, and I get the curve in here, and then I put the fingers in there, it looks a little better. You just have to work on that. All right, so let's get the face. Let's get the face, because you can see up under here. So let's bring this down. And I'm going to, it's not much of a curve, but there is a little curve that goes back, and you see some of your neck. So I'm going to do a little curve and go back up. Of course, your neck. So usually when you do that, just do a V. Like if I'm doing a head and I curve it up, however, I'll do this like V. That's going to be your shadow, and then your neck. Of course, you got to have the back of your head, cranium. So you always have the V. To make up for your chin. So basically it's just going to be like this. This piece here's your chin, under your chin, and you come up, and then I'll just add like some shadow depending on the light source. All right, so you're welcome. Somebody's like, oh, thank you for teaching me. I felt that. I felt somebody just said that. You're welcome. Keep coming back and I will show you more. And so At this point, I no longer need this because I have the body, so I have this. As I said, once you start, people start, if you decide to join my Patreon and join the top tier, I think it's the paid tier, then I'll start giving you, these. And these are not stuff not drawn on, this paper. It's drawn on the good thick stuff. So it's gonna last. And if I had a laminator, maybe that's something I'll get in the future. Maybe I would laminate them and then send them to you. And I'm going to, just for the sake of it, I'm going to cut this off. But I'm going to do that in fast motion. So here we go. All right, so here you have the final product. I mean, I can keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, which I see stuff that I would like to do. I had to turn my light on because the glare, I could not see because of the glare from the pencil. So I'm not going to keep going because, again, I can't see. I really, really can't see. So what was I going to say? Okay, it's done. I can keep going. I don't know, something good I was going to say, but I forgot. So this is going to be it for this. I was going to say he is the Black Panther, so a lot of this would be, it'd be a lot more shadow than this, but I just put a little bit of shadow in there just to accentuate some stuff. So yeah, that's going to be it. And like I said, I'm working on this Hulk. He's going to come in there someday. I don't know when, but he's going to come in there someday. So, for you guys who like the big people. So, yeah, just for kicks, this is, I'm trying to figure out the easy way to draw this guy. Since I done got this far, I'm trying to figure it out so you can see it and draw it a lot easier. But when I get it, I'll put it up. Or when I draw it, and that's just a practice. Like I said, I always draw it first to find out an easy way for you guys to be able to follow my steps. But I just haven't found it yet, not with that big creature. So again, I can ramble and ramble and ramble, and that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys later. And as I said, when you sign up for the 3rd tier, you will get a drawing, signed, autograph, as they call it. Maybe this one, it might not be. I don't know. It depends on what I feel like giving away or just reaching out and grabbing, because I have a lot. All right. Oh, subscribe. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. And I thank you for all those people that leave comments. I'm going to get into my comments more and answering everybody. It's just that just so much stuff has been going on. I think I said I'm trying to do a cartoon, get a little short cartoon for the Animal Corp. And I haven't really found anybody that I like, because it's all more kiddish. When you have somebody do like a little quick, animation, everybody's doing a little kiddie stuff, and then they're going 3D, and I don't want the 3D stuff because the book is not 3D. I want it to be as close to my art as they can, or better. And I haven't found really anybody that can get to this level yet. Not on where I'm looking anyway. So I'll keep you posted on that, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.